Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're jumping into a super exciting and fast-growing field, mobile IV therapy right here in California. It's an incredible business opportunity for sure, but, and this is a big but, getting the legal stuff right from the get-go is absolutely critical. So, we're going to walk through the official rules you need to know to make sure your new venture is set up for success. So, you've got this great idea, right? You're ready to start a mobile IV business in the Golden State. It's a hot market and for good reason. But before you go out and buy that perfect van or start stocking up on supplies, hold on a sec. There's a bit of a legal maze you've got to navigate first, and that's exactly what we're here to help you with. Okay, let's get one thing straight right off the bat, because this is the most important mindset shift you can make. You are not, I repeat, not running a simple delivery service. You are operating a medical practice on wheels. And what does that mean? It means you fall under some pretty strict medical and pharmacy laws. So, let's dive in. Now, here's some good news. You don't need a traditional, expensive brick-and-mortar office to get this dream off the ground. But here's the catch. Your mobile unit has to be a legitimate extension of a medical practice, and it has to follow all the same rules and regulations. Let's break down exactly what that looks like. All right, now for what is, without a doubt, the most critical piece of this entire puzzle: ownership. This isn't just some small detail on a form somewhere. Who legally owns the business is a foundational requirement that can literally make or break your company before you even see your first patient. Get ready for an acronym because you're going to hear it a lot: CPOM. It stands for the Corporate Practice of Medicine Doctrine. In California, this is a really big deal. It basically means that a non-physician, or what the law calls a layperson, cannot own a business that provides medical services. Your IV therapy company must be set up as a professional medical corporation, which has to be owned and controlled by a licensed physician. A huge mistake people make is thinking they can just own the biz and have a doctor on contract. Nope. The entire corporate structure has to be compliant from day one. So let's look at this side by side because it makes things crystal clear. On the left, you've got the compliant legal way to do it. The business is owned by a licensed physician. Or maybe it's a nurse-run operation that's properly structured under a physician medical director who is the one actually prescribing everything. That works. But on the right, that's the danger zone. That's an unlicensed person owning the company, buying and stocking prescription drugs, and basically running an illegal pharmacy. That's the kind of thing that gets you shut down fast. Great, so you've nailed the ownership structure. Awesome. Now we get to the fun stuff, your clinic on wheels. But you know it's coming, right? Your van isn't just a van. It's a mobile medical facility, and it needs to be treated with that same level of care, especially when it comes to safety and storing your supplies. When it comes to your mobile unit, it all really boils down to these three things. You have to be on top of temperature control, you've got to maintain a clean and sterile environment, and your security has to be rock solid. These aren't suggestions, they're requirements. You see this temperature range? 59 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit? You're going to want to commit that one to memory. Your vehicle absolutely needs climate control to keep your supplies in this sweet spot. I mean, just think about a van parked under the California sun for a few hours. It gets incredibly hot, and that can make your products useless or even dangerous. And you'll need to keep daily temperature logs to prove you're doing it right. Trust me, when an inspector shows up, those logs are one of the very first things they're going to ask to see. Security is a huge deal. Let's be real. You're driving around with a stock of prescription drugs, which automatically puts a target on your vehicle. So at a bare minimum, all your drugs need to be in locked compartments or lock boxes inside the vehicle. The vehicle itself should have an alarm. And of course, only licensed staff should ever have the keys. But here's the real pro tip. The best practice that regulators love to see: don't leave your inventory in the van overnight. Move it to a secure indoor facility when you're done for the day. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty of your day-to-day. How you manage your inventory, how you track it, and how you document everything. This isn't just about being organized. It's a massive part of staying compliant and on the right side of the law. So it's super important to know that not all of your supplies are treated the same way. Your basic IV fluids, like saline, plus vitamins and other additives, they're mostly considered non-controlled prescription drugs. The key here is to track lot numbers and expiration dates. And a big one: if you open a multi-dose vial, you have to date it. It's only good for 28 days. Now, if you even think about carrying controlled substances, you're stepping into a whole different world. You're talking DEA oversight, crazy detailed logs, and heavy-duty locked cabinets. Honestly, it's a whole other level of headache, which is why most mobile IV startups just decide to avoid them completely. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This quote comes straight from the California pharmacy authorities themselves. They could not be clearer. Leaving these drugs in a parked, unattended vehicle overnight is a major no-no. It's a huge red flag for them. They strongly, strongly recommend you move that inventory somewhere secure when you're off the clock. You've probably heard this before, but in the world of medical compliance, it's the golden rule. If it isn't documented, it didn't happen. Period. Your records are your proof, your protection, your lifeline. You need perpetual inventory logs, those daily temperature logs we talked about, and of course, every single IV you administer must be tied to a valid patient record and a doctor's order. And whatever you do, don't throw those records out. You have to keep them for at least 3 years. Phew, okay, that was a lot of information, I know. We've covered everything from the legal structure of your business to the nuts and bolts of daily operations. So let's pull it all together now into one final compliance check. Think of this as the ultimate cheat sheet for running a business that's safe, legal, and truly set up for success.
All right, this is it, your pre-launch checklist. Get these things right and you're way ahead of the game. First, is your business structure 100% compliant? Are you buying all your supplies from licensed, legitimate sources? No sketchy websites. If you're mixing custom drips on the spot, are you following the sterile compounding rules for immediate use? Is your whole team trained up on all these protocols? And maybe the most important question of all, are you ready for a surprise inspection to happen at literally any time?
And that's really the question to leave you with, isn't it? This isn't just about starting a cool new business. It's about operating a professional medical practice that is held to the highest standards of safety and compliance. When you treat it with that level of seriousness and respect, you're not just building a profitable company, you're building trust with your patients and the community. Thanks so much for sticking with me through this explainer.